The darkness of space stretched endlessly around the horizon. Stars flickered like distant candles, cold and distant, while the human crew of the reconnaissance ship floated silently inside, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Commander Elias Drake sat in the captain's chair, eyes fixed on the main screen, watching the radar sweep over the uncharted system X9. "Nothing unusual so far," said Lieutenant Kara Vance, tapping her fingers nervously on the console. "Just empty space, or at least it should be empty." Drake didn't reply. He felt in his bones, a strange tension in the air, like the calm before a storm. Space had a way of playing tricks on even the most experienced explorers. Then the screen flickered, and a soft, barely perceptible signal appeared on the monitor. "What's that?" whispered Ensign Malik, leaning over the console. The signal was faint, almost like a whisper in a vacuum of space. It repeated in a strange, rhythmic pattern. Drake frowned. "Amplify it. Run it through the translation filters. Let's see what we're dealing with." Minutes passed in tense silence. The crew held their breath as the computers processed the signal. Finally, a clear, simple message appeared on the screen. "SOS. Help. Deathworlders." The words were short, but their meaning was clear. A call for help had reached human ears. But something about it was strange. The language wasn't fully alien. It was a strange mix of tones and pulses, almost like a hybrid code. Kara shivered. It doesn't make sense. Why would anyone be sending an SOS from this system? It's supposed to be lifeless. "Exactly," Drake said, rising from his chair. "That's why we're going to check it out. Prepare for descent." As the horizon approached the planet, the crew got their first real look at it. The planet was enormous, covered in jagged mountains and deep craters. Its surface glowed faintly with strange, shifting lights, as if the planet itself was alive. There were no signs of cities or settlements, only something vast, strange, and unwelcoming. Sensors picked up unusual energy readings beneath the surface. "Commander, these readings, they're huge." "Not natural," said Malik. "It's like something is moving down there." Drake narrowed his eyes. "Then we'll find out what it is." The landing was tense. The horizon descended slowly, the planet's thin atmosphere causing the ship to shake violently. Dust and rock swirled around them as the landing gears touched down. The planet was silent. Too silent. The crew stepped out, helmets reflecting the faint glow of the strange surface. Their boots crunched on the rocky ground. Every sound seemed amplified in the eerie silence. Kara's voice trembled slightly through the comms. "Why does it feel wrong? Like the planet is watching us?" Drake didn't answer. He didn't need to. He felt it too. The weight of unseen eyes, the tension in the air that made the hairs on his neck stand up. Then came the first movement. A shadow flickered beneath one of the jagged cliffs. Malik's hand went to his weapon. "Commander, something's down there." Drake signaled for caution. "Everyone stay together. Move slowly. Observe first." The crew crept closer. Suddenly, the shadow shifted, revealing a strange metallic creature, part organic, part machine. Its eyes glowed a cold blue, scanning the humans as if calculating their threat level. It didn't attack, yet. "What is that?" Kara whispered, clutching her weapon. Drake's eyes narrowed. "We're not alone. And whatever that is, it's waiting for something." Then the ground trembled. Small fissures opened, glowing with the same strange blue energy as the creature's eyes. The SOS signal repeated, louder this time, echoing to the planet's atmosphere like a warning. "Help! Deathworlders!" The humans froze. The message wasn't just a call for help. It was a warning. Malik swallowed hard. "Commander, I think we woke something. Something big." Drake's jaw tightened. "Then we need to find out what." But carefully. As the crew moved cautiously toward the source of the signal, a distant rumble shook the ground beneath them. From the cracks in the mountains, shapes began to emerge. Huge, mechanical forms rising from the planet like monsters from a nightmare. Their eyes glowed, and their movements were deliberate, controlled, terrifying. "Everyone back to the ship." Drake shouted. But the creatures were faster than expected, already circling them with a calculated precision that made the humans realize they were dealing with intelligence far beyond anything they had faced before. The first signal, faint and almost lost in space, had awakened something. And now, the humans were standing directly in the path of force that had slept for centuries, an ancient, deadly civilization the galaxy had long forgotten. The Deathworlders. As the Horizon's engines roared to life, Drake stared at the planet. He didn't know if they would survive this encounter, but one thing was certain. Humanity had just announced its presence to a race that had never expected to face them, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The planet trembled beneath the horizon as Commander Elias Drake and his crew scrambled to stabilize their landing. Dust and rock fell around them, and the strange blue glow from the fissures painted eerie shadows across the jagged cliffs. For a moment, silence returned, a heavy, waiting silence. Then came the sound, a soft clicking, mechanical but alive. Something moved beneath the ground, shifting rocks and metal in a way that made every human instinct scream danger. "Commander, sensors detect multiple moving targets," said Lieutenant Caravance, her voice tight with tension. "They're not small and they're fast." Drake's jaw clenched. "Keep calm. Weapons ready. We move slowly and we stay together. No heroics." The ground cracked further, and from the shadows emerged the first scouts. Small, sleek, alien machines with sharp, angular bodies. Their eyes glowed cold blue, scanning the humans. They moved with terrifying precision, as if they had been waiting for centuries for prey to stumble into their territory. Malik raised his blaster. They're scouting us, like predators." Drake nodded. "Then we'll treat them the same way. Defensive positions, but don't engage yet. Observe first." The scouts circled. One made a sudden leap toward Malik, claws extended, moving faster than the human eye could track. Malik barely rolled out of the way, firing a shot that ricocheted off its armor. Sparks flew, and the alien screeched, a mechanical, high-pitched sound that echoed across the rocky cliffs. "It's alive! Somehow alive," Kara whispered. "Part machine, part something else." Drake took a deep breath. "We need to figure out what these creatures want, and fast." Before they could plan, the ground shook violently. More scouts emerged from fissures and caves, their numbers growing with alarming speed. They were everywhere, surrounding the crew with calculated intent. "Back to the ship?" Drake shouted, firing his weapon as he ran. The humans sprinted, dodging clawed strikes and energy pulses. Sparks and smoke filled the air as the scouts attacked with frightening coordination. As the crew reached the horizon, Malik paused, noticing something strange. "Commander, look at the markings on the scouts. They're symbols like a language. They're organized, intelligent." Drake's eyes narrowed. "They're not mindless machines. They're controlled by something or someone down there." The humans barely made it back into the ship. Kara slammed the airlock shut, panting. The scouts surrounded the ship now, their glowing eyes scanning, their movements precise and menacing. Evasive maneuvers. Drake barked. The horizon lifted off the ground, engines roaring, as the alien scouts gave chase. Rocks exploded around the ship as the creatures leapt toward it, but the humans were faster. The horizon dodged, spiraled, and fired defensive pulses, taking down a few scouts in sparks and metal fragments. From orbit, the planet looked calm again, hiding its true terror beneath jagged cliffs and glowing fissures. But inside the ship, the crew knew the reality. The SOS they had answered had awakened something ancient and deadly. Drake gripped the console. This wasn't just a call for help. It was a warning, and we just walked right into it. Kara leaned over the radar. "Commander, sensors show a massive energy reading below the surface. It's huge. Whatever controls these scouts, it's coming online." Malik swallowed hard. "We're not just dealing with a few machines. This is a whole army." Drake's eyes hardened. "Then we prepare. Humans don't run. We fight, but we do it smart." The scouts retreated to the fissures, as if signaling the planet below. And then the signal on the ship's monitor changed. What was once a faint SOS now pulsed with intensity, echoing through space. "Help! Deathworlders! Awakening!" The crew exchanged uneasy glances. They had answered a cry for help, but now they realized they were the threat these Deathworlders had been waiting for. The horizon accelerated, leaving the planet's surface but not the danger. Below, something ancient stirred. Massive shapes shifted beneath the crust, glowing energy cores powering up. The Deathworlders were awakening, and humans were standing directly in the path of an intelligence that had ruled the planet for centuries. Drake's voice broke the tense silence. Set course for orbit, and start sending a warning. Humanity isn't alone in the galaxy anymore, and they're not ready for us. The stars stretched ahead, but the horizon was no longer just exploring. It was entering a battle the galaxy had never seen before, and the humans aboard were the first to face a challenge older than most civilizations. The horizon hovered in orbit above the jagged surface of the Death World. Below, the planet trembled as the scouts disappeared into fissures, retreating to regroup. Inside the ship, Commander Elias Drake stood with his crew around a holographic map, tension heavy in the air. "We can't just run," Drake said firmly. "These creatures are fast, smart, and coordinated. If we leave them alone, they'll follow us, and the colonies are next." Lieutenant Kara Vance leaned over the console, pointing at the alien symbols recorded during the first encounter. "They're not just machines. They respond to patterns, signals. They follow orders. If we can figure out their logic, we can use it against them." Ensign Malik frowned. "You mean trick them?" Drake nodded. "Exactly. Humans survive by thinking differently. We adapt. We improvise. Let's show them why we're dangerous." The crew split into teams. Kara worked on creating a decoy signal to lure the scouts into a trap. Malik rigged energy pulses on the planet's surface to create hazards, while Drake coordinated orbital maneuvers to strike from above. Hours passed as they prepared. The tension was thick, but so was determination. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and they had survived. When the first scouts emerged from the fissures again, their glowing blue eyes scanning for intruders, the humans unleashed their plan. Kara activated the decoy signal, sending a false SOS echoing from the mountains. The scouts, drawn by the signal, moved predictably toward it. "Now!" Drake shouted. Malik triggered the energy pulses. Sparks erupted. Fissures exploded, and the alien scouts were caught in a precise trap. A few tried to escape, but the humans' coordination cut off their retreat. The first wave of scouts was destroyed. "It's working," Kara exclaimed, her voice trembling with relief and excitement. But the humans knew better than to celebrate. From below, a massive shadow shifted. Something larger than the scouts was rising, something that radiated power and intelligence. Drake's eyes narrowed. "They're calling in reinforcements," he said. "Whatever commands these scouts is waking up, and it's huge." The ship's sensors detected a massive underground structure, glowing with the same blue energy as the scouts. The Deathworlders were not just a threat. They were an army, and humans had just announced their presence. Drake took a deep breath. "We've proven we can fight them, but this is only the beginning. Humans don't just survive by brute force. We use our brains. Prepare the ship. We'll keep them off balance and figure out their weakness." Kara studied the alien markings on the scouts' armor. They underestimate humans. They expect predictable reactions. That's our advantage. We move fast, we adapt, and we strike where they don't expect. The horizon descended carefully toward the planet, drawing the scouts out of their hiding. Each engagement was tense. Each shot fired measured. The humans moved like a single organism, combining their weapons, intelligence, and creativity to stay one step ahead of the Deathworlders scouts. By the end of the day, the crew had destroyed several patrol units. The alien intelligence below must have taken note, because a pulse of energy shook the planet, sending massive chunks of rock into the air. The scouts fell back, retreating into the fissures. Drake looked at his crew, pride mixing with exhaustion. "We've shown them humans are not easy prey. They may be stronger, but we are smarter, and this is just the start." Malik allowed a small smile. "I never thought I'd see humans fight like this and win." Kara shook her head in disbelief. "They're going to remember us. Whatever's down there, they've never faced humans before." Drake's eyes hardened, staring at the glowing fissures below. "And when they wake the rest of their army, we'll be ready. Humanity fights smarter, faster, and braver than anything they faced. This SOS may have been a trap, but it's also our warning. The galaxy is about to see what humans are capable of. The Horizon lifted back into orbit, leaving the planet below alive with movement and energy. The crew's heart still raced, but a new determination burned brighter than fear. Humans had fought back, and the Deathworlders had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate humans. Above the planet, the stars were calm, indifferent, but the humans knew the calm was only temporary. Somewhere below, a larger force stirred, preparing for the next encounter. And when it came, humanity would be waiting, ready to turn the odds in their favor once again. The Horizon drifted silently in orbit, stars shining coldly in the distance. But space around the Death World was no longer empty. Sensors picked up enormous energy readings, a presence so vast it made the human stomachs twist with unease. "Commander, you need to see this," Lieutenant Caravan said, pointing to the holographic display. The screen shimmered, showing the outlines of countless massive ships, hidden behind the planet's magnetic storms. The Deathworlders were no longer just ground-based scouts. They were a fleet, and it was awakening. Drake leaned forward, gripping the console. "How many?" he asked, though he already feared the answer. "Too many to count," Kara whispered. "And they're moving toward our system. Fast." The crew fell silent, letting the weight of the revelation sink in. These were no ordinary aliens. The Deathworlders had not only survived undisturbed for centuries, but they had prepared an armada, ships designed for war, energy weapons, and shields that could withstand most human firepower. Malik swallowed hard. "Commander, we're small. Really small. There's no way we can fight all of them." Drake's gaze hardened. "Then we won't fight them all. We'll fight smart. Humans have always survived because we adapt, improvise, and strike where the enemy doesn't expect." The Horizon prepared for a risky move, sending a warning to nearby human colonies. Drake's voice echoed through the comms. "This is Commander Elias Drake of the Horizon. The Deathworlders are awake. They have an armada. Prepare defenses. And be ready. Humanity fights differently, and we will not go quietly." As the message transmitted, the alien fleet began moving, massive silhouettes emerging from behind planetary shadows. The planet itself seemed alive, energy pulsating from the surface, as if feeding the ship's awakening. "Commander, they're coordinating," Kara said. "The scouts, they're part of it. They're guiding the larger ships." The humans watched in awe and fear as the first battleship emerged, a towering structure of black metal, glowing blue lines tracing its surface. Its weapon systems activated, and a low hum filled the vacuum of space, a sound the human crew felt in their bones. Drake's hand tightened around the console. "This is bigger than we imagined. But remember, humans are clever. We've already beaten their scouts. Now we use speed, stealth, and intelligence to our advantage. Prepare evasive maneuvers." Malik checked the ship's weapons. "Commander, if we try to fight head-on, we're finished in minutes." "Then we won't fight head-on," Drake said. "We hit weak points, stay unpredictable, and use the environment. They've never faced humans before. They don't know what we're capable of." The fleet's advance was relentless, massive warships slicing through the planet's orbit with deadly precision. Smaller crafts broke off the scout and attack, scanning the horizon relentlessly. "Commander, they're expecting us to panic," Kara said. "They don't understand humans. That's our edge." Drake nodded grimly. "Edge or not, we need time. We'll make them pay for every inch of space. And we'll make them learn something they've never learned before. Humans never surrender." The Horizon slipped into a nearby asteroid field, using the rocks for cover while the fleet adjusted. Sparks flew as alien scouts darted between rocks, scanning, searching. The humans moved with precision, using every tactic available, drawing the fleet into traps. Below, the Deathworlders' planet glowed with energy, as if feeding the awakening armada. Above, the Horizon danced through space, a small human ship against an alien force that dwarfed anything humanity had faced. Drake stared at the stars. "We're outnumbered, outgunned, but not outsmarted. The galaxy has underestimated humans before. Let's make sure they remember why." The alien fleet's massive ships continued to advance, and the first contact with the human defenders was imminent. The stage was set for a battle the galaxy would never forget, and humanity's courage and ingenuity would be tested like never before. The horizon hovered at the edge of orbit, engines humming like a predator stalking its prey. Below, the death world thrummed with energy, its fissures glowing brighter than ever. From the depths of space, the massive alien flagship emerged, a towering vessel of black metal, lined with glowing blue conduits that pulsed with power. Drake's jaw tightened. This is it. The main force. We take them down, or humanity pays the price. Kara studied the readings. Their shields, nearly impenetrable. Weapons, faster and stronger than anything we've faced. But they're slow to adapt to unconventional tactics. Malik swallowed hard. Commander, if we fail here, there's no coming back. Drake didn't flinch. Humans survive because we think differently. Prepare for a combined strike. Every trick, every tactic we've learned, use it now. The horizon dove toward the planet, weaving through asteroid fields and magnetic storms to avoid detection. Scouts swarmed ahead, but humans had anticipated them. Decoy signals lured them into collapsing fissures, while the main ship stayed hidden until flagship moved closer. Drake's voice cut through the tension. Target their energy cores. Aim for the weak points exposed by our traps. Timing is everything. The humans struck with precision. Energy pulses blasted at the alien vessel's shields, probing for vulnerabilities. The flagship fired back, massive energy beams cutting through the asteroid field, sending chunks of rock spiraling into space. Sparks and debris lit up the darkness as humans danced between death and victory. Kara shouted, pointing to a large fissure on the planet below. Commander, if we lure the flagship over that, its weight will trigger a collapse. Drake nodded. Do it. Now. The horizon maneuvered carefully, drawing a massive ship toward the unstable ground. Below, the planet trembled violently. Alien energy readings spiked. Its warship system strained against the planet's natural forces. Pull back. Malik shouted. It's collapsing. The Deathworlder flagship faltered, caught between its own power and the human trap. Sparks of metal fragments rained down as fissures opened beneath it, destabilizing its massive hull. The humans struck relentlessly, firing at exposed energy conduits and weak points, exploiting the alien underestimation of human ingenuity. Drake's voice was calm but fierce. Humans never surrender. Fight smart, fight together, and you could defeat any enemy, even the Deathworlders. The flagship groaned, systems failing one by one. Scouts scattered in disarray. Below, the planet shook violently, energy surging from the fissures, as if celebrating humanity's triumph. Finally, with a massive explosion that lit the skies, the flagship toppled, crashing into the planet's surface. A shock wave rippled across orbit, shaking the horizon. The alien fleet, leaderless and disoriented, began retreating into space. The humans breathed heavily, exhaustion and adrenaline mixing in their veins. Malik broke the tense silence. We did it. We actually did it. Drake's eyes remained on the planet. We've won this battle, but the war isn't over. The Deathworlders are ancient, and their planet still holds secrets. But today, humanity proved something. Small numbers, clever tactics, and courage can turn the tide against any enemy. Kara smiled, relief flooding her face. We made them learn something they'll never forget. Humans don't give up. Humans fight smarter. Humans win. As the horizon lifted from orbit, the planet below still thrummed with energy, a warning that the Deathworlders were not finished. But for now, humanity had emerged victorious. The SOS signal that had awakened the ancient Armada had instead awakened a legend. Humans were a force the galaxy had never truly expected, and a force no alien could ignore. The horizon floated in orbit above the Deathworld, silent but vigilant. Below, the planet still glowed with pulsing energy from the battles and the fallen flagship, a reminder the chaos humans had survived. Commander Elias Drake stared at the planet, knowing that humanity had just written its name across the stars. Kara leaned against the console, exhausted but smiling. We actually did it. We defeated an entire armada, from a planet no one thought even existed. Malik shook his head in disbelief, and we survived. Against all odds, humans survived. Drake's gaze remained sharp. Surviving is just the first step. What we've done here, humanity has sent a message. The Deathworlders, anyone who thought humans were weak, small, or insignificant, now knows the truth. We are clever, adaptable, and relentless. That's the power of humanity. The warning signals they had sent earlier now spread across nearby colonies. Human settlements prepared defenses and mobilized fleets, bolstered by the news that humans could face and defeat even the most ancient and powerful enemies. For the first time in decades, the galaxy looked at humanity not as a fledgling species, but as a rising force to be reckoned with. Below, the death world stirred. Energy flares shot from fissures, signaling the alien intelligence had survived in some form. But the humans had won the day, proving that ingenuity, courage, and determination could overcome even the most advanced foes. Drake turned to his crew. We've done something no one else could. We've made our mark. But we can't grow complacent. The galaxy is vast, and there will be more challenges, more ancient civilizations, and more battles to fight. Humanity will face them, and we will prevail just as we have here. Kara smiled, determination shining in her eyes. Then we keep moving forward. Humans don't wait for the next threat. We prepare, we fight, and we win. Malik nodded. And they'll remember this. The SOS that awoke the Deathworlders didn't just summon a threat. It awakened a legend. Humans are not just survivors. We are warriors. And the galaxy will know it. Drake allowed himself a small smile, thinking of the countless colonies that would hear this victory. Today, humanity's courage has reshaped the stars. But tomorrow we continue. We explore, we protect, and we fight smarter than anyone has ever imagined. And we do it together. The horizon adjusted its course, heading toward the nearest human colony. The crew looked out the windows at the death world below, silent now, but still alive, a reminder of the battle won and the many more that lay ahead. In the vast expanse of space, humans had proven their place, not as mere observers, not as prey, but as a force the galaxy had never expected. The SOS that had awakened the Deathworlders Armada had instead announced humanity to the stars, and humanity was ready. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of danger, mystery, and adventure. But for the first time, humanity faced the unknown not with fear, but with the certainty that they could overcome anything. The legend had begun. Humans were no longer the small species the galaxy ignored. They were clever, brave, and unstoppable. And the galaxy would never forget it. The horizon floated in orbit, its hull scarred from battle but intact. Humanity had survived the Deathworlders' awakening and sent a powerful message across the galaxy. Yet, Commander Elias Drake knew this was not the end. The galaxy was vast, ancient, and full of unknown dangers. "Commander, we've received strange readings," Kara said, pointing to the sensors. "Signals, similar to the SOS we answered, but different, stronger, more organized." Malik frowned. Another trap? Another Deathworlder fleet? Drake shook his head. Not Deathworlders. Something else, something older. They've been watching, waiting, and now they know humans exist. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. For the first time, the victory felt small. Against the Deathworlders, humans had relied on cunning and improvisation. But what if the next enemy was beyond comprehension, far stronger and patient for centuries? Below, the Deathworlders' planet was quiet again, but Drake sensed the energy had shifted. The massive fissures pulsed subtly, as if communicating with forces beyond the system. Kara studied the readings. "Commander, if this signal is a warning, then someone or something is mobilizing. We may have survived one battle, but the war is just beginning." Drake's voice was calm, yet firm. "Then we prepare. Humans don't wait for threats to find us. We explore, we adapt, we fight, and we survive. The galaxy may have underestimated us, but that ends now. Humanity is ready." Malik glanced at the stars, their beauty now tinged with unease. "Do you think they'll ever stop hunting us?" Drake's eyes narrowed. "Doesn't matter. Humans don't give up. We learn, we fight, we grow stronger. That's how we survive. That's how we win. And anyone who thinks they can stop us will learn it the hard way. As the Horizon adjusted course for the nearest human colony, the crew prepared for what lay ahead. Sensors detected distant warships, strange energy signatures, and unknown signals pulsing from systems far beyond charted space. The galaxy was awakening, and humanity had just announced its arrival. Somewhere, far beyond the stars, ancient eyes watched, ancient fleets stirred. And now, they had a new variable to consider. Humans. Drake turned to his crew, determination burning in his eyes. The galaxy is big, dangerous, and unpredictable. But so are we. And from now on, every corner of space will know that humans fight smarter, faster, and braver than anyone expected. The stars stretched ahead, endless and mysterious. The SOS that had awakened the Deathworlders had been just the beginning. The galaxy was full of shadows, threats, and challenges, but humanity had already shown its true power. And somewhere out there, the next challenge waited.